Hey guys, I'm Stephanie Weaver from artfurpaws.com. That's fur, like a furry little animal, paws, like your paw of your hand type of thing for a dog. So anyway, artfurpaws.com. And today what I'm going to show you guys is how to paint this Black Panther. So this actually came as a suggestion from a lady who viewed one of my other how-to paintings. So I do read those and I do take those suggestions. And my goal is to actually do one of these a month, like one how to paint something like this, so you can paint them at home. So in this painting of this animal, I actually used a very limited palette. And you think there's a whole bunch of black in there, and there's actually not. And I'll talk more about that during the actual demonstration. So I used lamp black. And you can pick oils or acrylics, really kind of whatever you do or whatever you want to do. I used oils in this demonstration, but I painted so quickly you could easily do it in acrylic as well. So lamp black, alizarin crimson, sap green, French ultramarine blue, let's see, where did the other one go? This one is cadmium yellow light. Either radiant white or titanium white will work, whichever one you prefer. I prefer radiant white nowadays because it just seems to maintain the white more and take less of the pigment of other colors on, and I really like that of my whitest of whites. And then what's not on display here, one second, left it over there. This is burnt sienna, okay? And so with those, just that's a very simple palette, you're going to be able to make a wide array of colors here. All right, so with that, let's just go ahead and get started. Oh, one more thing. If you guys stick around towards the end, I'm going to tell you how you can win this one, enter for a chance to win, okay? Because I paint all my paintings to be out in public. On my wall, they don't do much good, but I want them out in public. So y'all enter a chance for winning this. And then also I'm going to show you at the end of the video a way that you can, if you want to buy prints, you can buy prints. If you want to have me actually draw this out for you so you can paint it, I'm going to show you how to do that too, okay? So stick around toward the end and I'll show you how to win it and get it, okay? Thanks. Each time I paint a pet portrait, at the very beginning of each session, I always start with the eyes. At the very beginning of each session, I'm actually pretty tight, and I'm not able to loosen up with my strokes very easily. And you'll notice this throughout my painting that I get very broad with my strokes towards the end of the painting. And that's where, you know, you've probably heard drawing from the right side of the brain. Well, the right side versus the left side. I'm very much a left brain person, so I'm very analytical and I in a linear manner. So when I start my painting, I start really defining the eyes first, because that requires a great deal of insight and a great deal of patience. So in this painting, you see I started out outlining with the black, and I did use the lamp black. And then I added the yellow, and then by adding some burnt umber here, I'm slowly also kind of bringing that black into it. And you'll notice with black and yellow, it really makes a really nice green. So by blending those colors in, it's starting to already take shape. When you think about the eye, you really want to make sure that you understand that it's a ball. It's an eye ball. So it does take a round shape, and you want your brush to kind of start taking that round shape too. Here I'm continuing on with the darker areas, and again I'm still kind of tight, so I want to get that nose done, the mouth done, and then I'm going to focus more on the dark areas. With the colors that I'm using right now, I'm using the darkest colors, and what I do is I actually mix in with the lamp black some of the ultramarine blue and some of the sap green, and that gives it a more rich black rather than just a flat black. The nose, I actually used a little bit of added some white to it, just a touch, and that's so I can add some highlights around the nose and really start refining that. The other thing you may notice is I'm using a relatively small brush. This brush is a hog's brush where it's got fairly stiff bristles that I can just scrub in the color. The nice thing about painting black is it really kind of also absorbs all the colors that are around it, so that's why I'm able to use a lot of the green, because the green is actually a reflection of the grass around the Black Panther. And it may not appear that way, and that's part of the process of, you know, starting out tight where you're working from the left brain and then switching over to the right brain. The right brain is starting to see those colors that you don't necessarily see and when you look or think about a Black Panther. Black Panther, you think it's going to be black. But once you start loosening up, you start seeing these other colors. Starting to go around and really kind of refine some of the darker areas again, working in my darks and mediums. When I get to painting the paws, one of the things that my left brain is wanting to tell me is that it is a paw. But when I actually look at the picture, I'm not able to see the entire paw. So I need to translate that into the painting, that it is not an important part of the actual painting. So all I need to do is show a representation of the paw. It doesn't have to be an exact replica of an actual paw. So it just looks like there's like a little bit of a black blob, so to speak, that's showing up under his right cheek. And then I'll be able to really kind of hide that blob a little bit more once I start adding in the grass that's around him. I'm going back in and adding some more highlights. This is a medium tone of the lamp black with green and white. The reference picture that I'm using here is actually from a website called Paint My Photo. You can become a member of it, and what it is like a group that has professional and semi-professional photographers that give away their rights so that we can so that we can paint their photos that they took. I'm going to start drawing in his ears, painting in his ears. So for this, I'm actually using the lamp black with a little bit of ultramarine blue. And one of the reasons why I'm using ultramarine blue here is it's further from the grass and it's closer to the sky. So it's going to be pulling in some of the colors from the sky. In real time, I'm probably about 30, maybe 40 minutes into the painting right now. As I move further away from the face, and like I said before, the face is kind of the area that I start with because I'm very tight. As you see here, I moved up in size of a brush because I'm starting to get looser, which is a good thing because now I'm going to start working on the body of the painting or the panther. And the body I don't want to be fully in focus, so I don't have to pay attention to the finer details that I do pay attention to into the face. So now I get to be pretty free with my strokes and make it very loose and just kind of focus on what I see in terms of shapes while using my brush. When I draw these out, I'm focusing in on where I see color changes as well as the structure of the overall face and body. But especially in the background on the body, all I really focus on is where I see color shifts. Because I don't plan on framing this, I am making sure that the edges are also completed. Tip that you can do to help make sure that your tones are right, or the values I should say, meaning the dark to light, is you squint your eyes like really hard to where you're just barely seeing through your eyelashes, and you'll be able to see kind of the brightest colors on both the image and your painting, and you kind of want to make sure that those align. So by squinting your eyes really, really small, right, until like you get those crow's feet type of thing, that's how you can tell and really see where your values are off. And then go back and correct those. When I add in my grass, I'm going to take very loose, big strokes and just do like a X. Kind of block in where you see the dark areas. And I'm blocking it in the dark areas with lamp black and sap green. Making crisscross strokes to really help blend in the green into the black dark areas. Around the top of the canvas, I'm using a lighter green, so I used a little bit of white added into the sap green so that area is a little less out of focus and blends in better with the body part of the panther. You'll notice that right now I'm not very worried about the individual blades of grass. Right now I'm just getting in the color. I'll show you how to do the blades of grass and you'll be shocked at how easy it is. Using a mop brush, I am blending in the edges on the back of the body with the grass as well as the front. Because again, I'm going to bring in some more details here in a minute. So by softening the edges like this, it's really going to make his face just pop. Now that I've got the whole canvas color covered with some color, I'm going to go back in and start adding some really light lights. And I'm still probably in my medium to light color and touching in on the highlights that I see. For this, I'm using a mixture of the lamp black, the ultramarine blue, and more whites. Going a little bit back and forth with some of the lamp black and ultramarine blue to start adding in some of the darks as well. So you're constantly moving between light and dark to make sure that you capture the folds of the panther's face as well as his body. Notice how I've angled my brush and moved my brush in the direction of where the hair would go, as well as the planes of the face. Back through and adding some more darks into the grass area. By adding a little bit of turf onto your brush and wiping it off a little bit, you can start drawing in the foliage. So what it's doing is actually removing and moving around the colors that are already on the canvas. I mean, it's kind of a quick and easy way to get the grass, and I'm also using an angle brush so that I can easily move it like I would see a blade of grass. And I'm really just kind of moving it all around because grass doesn't really go in any one direction. And the ferns that I'm adding, so I'm just adding the line, drawing in the line, wiping off my brush, and then adding in this parts of the foliage. And this is real time so that you can see how quickly I'm actually adding in these little bristles or needles. because it's not going to be perfect. I think a lot of times we get to thinking about a blade of grass and how just everything is so perfect, when in reality it's just kind of haphazard. Because it's not the important part of the painting, but it is a function of the painting to help draw your attention to the subject, and the subject is the panther. So we want to, I really like the design of this photograph because it does draw you in with these plants pointing towards the face. So to add some finer details, I'm putting on my ruler, and I have a very, very thin brush here. And I'm going to just start to add in, again back at the eyes, the eyeliner of the eye. I'm using straight up lamp black. After I added the eyeliner to the panther's eyes, I now see some other areas that I need to really darken up. Add in more foliage. Dip your paintbrush in water or turp and add that in. To add more highlights to the foliage, you take a little bit of the sap green and yellow and white and start adding some highlights and just gently move it around. By not wiping off or cleaning your brush, you're kind of darkening it up because you're pulling in some of those other lights. But when you want to freshen it up, just clean your brush and grab some of the light and add it on. It's an easy way to add the contrast. And you'll notice the foliage is not exactly like the picture, and I choose to do it that way because if I really wanted a picture, I would just frame the picture. The important part of this painting to me is the panther, not foliage. I do like playing with the foliage because it does draw your attention inward. I think that was the important part of this composition, is to draw your eyes into the primary subject, which is the panther. And by angling the brush and pulling that foliage towards the panther's face, that's really calling it out. There's going to be foliage that goes over the panther. Make sure that that comes and looks natural. Once again, I'm going back in and adding some detail around the nose and around the eyes. This again is just lamp black and some of the sap green and ultramarine blue. For a really, really dark, combine the lamp black, ultramarine blue, sap green, and alizarin crimson, and it gets a very rich, deep black. Going back to the eyes, I'm adding some yellow and the highlights. Refining the shape of the eye and some of the darker colors. And gently blending it in. Final details, I'll add in the whiskers with my liner brush. I'm very lightly touching the canvas. Sometimes I miss it. If I think the whiskers are a little bit too obvious, I can easily just kind of wipe them out with a little bit of the
base color, which is the ultramarine blue and lamp black. Adding just some fine touches here. The brush that I'm using right now, it's actually a liner brush from a plein air painting kit, so it folds up. It's not normally that short. It's actually too short right now. It's actually annoying. Adding in the eyebrow whiskers.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and give it a thumbs up, share it. More importantly, I hope you try it. You know, the thing about painting is the more you do it, the better you get at it. Just like with everything else, the more you do it, the better you get. And the more you get a feel for your type of paints and what style that you like. And I can tell you, I have conducted several of these painting sessions, like actually live and in person, and everybody's painting is different. Everybody's painting shows their own style and their own voice. So I would strongly encourage you to follow me and find your voice in your own painting. I'm going to show you how to do things, how you, or how I do things, and how you interpret that is your way of expressing your art. So now I was also going to tell you guys how you can win this. So in my blog, artforpaws.com, and I'll leave a link in the subscription here, or the information down here, and there'll be a link to where you can follow me on Facebook, you get points. You follow me on YouTube, you get points. Those sort of things. It's by Rafflecopter. It's totally random, but whoever wins will get this painting, okay? And then one of the other things that I'm offering on my website now is not everybody likes to draw, and myself included, so that's why I do it all at once. But if you don't want to draw but you just want to paint, I'm going to start offering on my website, and you can check out the shopping cart area. I'll leave a link down below again to this, so that you can actually request of me to draw it out and send it to you. Okay, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. And then also, because my goal is to do one of these a week, sorry, not one a week, one a month, one a month, leave a comment below on what you would be interested in painting. You guys are my audience. I want to do stuff that you want to do, and I'd love to paint. So keep me fueled, okay? So thank you guys again. I hope you enjoy it. Give it a thumbs up, share it, and until next time, keep painting and keep creating. Thank you guys.